Hey, Unruly Subjects, it's Chenjerai, and I need your help to keep the show going strong. If you love what we do here, consider supporting us by joining our Patreon community. It's the best way to back the show, and you get some incredible benefits in return. Membership starts at just $5 a month. I mean, there's nothing that cheap, at least in New York. And you immediately get ad-free episodes and exclusive premium episodes. That includes interview outtakes and other extras you ain't gonna hear anywhere else. But that's not all. You can access the Unruly chat and polls. When we have a live event, you're gonna get the pre-sale tickets and the merch. Oh my God, the merch. You know the merch is gonna be fly. And you receive invitations to our Q&A live streams and, my favorite, our annual exclusive hangout with me, the producers, and a special guest. So yo, come on people, join the Unruly mob. Visit patreon.com/Unruly Subjects. And thank you for making this show possible. Row Home Productions. Unruly Subjects. What's up, y'all? Yeah. This week, we're busy working on the next few episodes. And when I tell y'all we got some heat coming, oh my God. So what we're going to do this week is we're going to drop the full version of something we just put a clip of down the feed before. It's a conversation with me and my man, Demetrius Noble, and we're just kind of talking about Jack Harlow and laughing at some of the names that he was given after his comments about his music getting blacker. But we're also going to dig into what that conversation really has to say about who actually owns the means of cultural production. And yo, I mean, this is a good time for you to go back and check, our catalog of Unruly Subjects. Man, we have 14 episodes now. You know what I mean? With y'all help, we got there. You know what I mean? So, you might want to start with last week's episode, How to Kill a Data Center, right? I mean, it's like a step-by-step guide about how to resist, and it's really inspiring conversation. So y'all definitely want to check that. And speaking of resistance, you should definitely check out our episode with April Lee. She's a national advocate in the family policing space, and she talked to us about how she fought the family policing system and got her kids back. And she's now helping other parents to do the same. It's powerful, it's deep, it's moving, and y'all definitely want to hear it. And if you've been paying attention to Trump's attacks on Harvard and UCLA and the broader weaponization of anti-Semitism, go check out our episode with Daryl Lee, because Daryl Lee really breaks down the history of how Title VI was weaponized. And man, I guarantee you're going to learn some stuff you didn't know. And one of our most popular episodes is our conversation with iconic labor organizer Bill Fletcher Jr. on what a general strike actually is, how you can make a general strike strong, and how that connected to what happened in Minneapolis. So you definitely want to check all those out. But this week we're going to drop this full version of me and D Noble talking about Jack Harlow and his comments about getting blacker. And really, some of what we're doing is just laughing at the names that Jack Harlow was given. But we're also going to talk about a little bit more critical conversation about who owns the means of cultural production. So, and by the way, just to let you know, we had some issues like technical glitches with the quality, so this isn't the best quality. I almost feel like Jack Harlow kind of tried to take revenge by somehow hacking into the system. But either way, I think you really enjoyed it, and here it is. All right, people, Unruly Subjects, you know what I'm saying? We in the building. Yo, we back with my man, Demetrius Noble, our brother, you know what I'm saying? Professor Noble, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
I'm all right. How you?
Hey, man, you know what it is. One day at a time.
Facts.
So I wanted to talk to you, man, because I started seeing all these clips about this Jack Harlow thing, and I was like, "Oh man, I gotta catch up." And I watched the interview, and there's been a lot of both interesting and just funny stuff that's happened related to this. And I think, of course, what people are talking about is a real issue. But just in case people haven't, are not tuned into this, could you give a quick recap of what's happened?
Yeah. So Jack Harlow, white rapper, turned neo soul-less, as some may say, just dropped a new album last week called Monica. It's a neo soul album, and on a press run with a New York Times podcast with two other white hosts, They ask him about his new project, this new sound that he's exploring. They even bring up that unlike many white rappers who have left rap for other sounds and what they say, quote unquote, retreated into whiteness or white sounds, Jack has arguably went into a genre that's even more black. And he says, yeah, I got blacker.
Oh, man.
So, of course, that little clip has been making its rounds, and for good reason, as Jack Harlow, white rapper, professes he's gotten blacker by his foray into neo soul. There was some other problematic things that was said throughout the interview, but that was the one thing that is really turning into a viral moment that's inspired lots of funny backlash and ridicule across social media with folks taking shots at Jack.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that was to me the most funny about the whole thing, I mean, I had thoughts about his comments, but the thing to me that was the most funny about the whole thing was just people started coming up with names for Jack Harlow. I think, what was it? Yaqub Kweli.
Yaqub Kweli. Most definitely not.
Most definitely not. There was
Beige Loaf.
Beige. Oh yeah, there was one. Yeah, Beige Loaf is crazy. D'Anglo.
D'Anglo-Saxon.
D'Anglo-Saxon.
I saw one neo-Nazi.
Ooh. Yo, I actually think the most important task that we need to do today in the name of cultural journalism is to rank the best names that people gave Jack Harlow in the aftermath of this. But I do feel like, we probably should try to offer some kind of commentary on this, because one thing that catches my eye is that people are trying to grapple with this problem. And I think actually in this interview, there was a moment where the interviewer sort of brings this question of the ability of, sort of white artists to move across, into sort of black genres of music opportunistically and then move out.
Right.
He actually brings that to Harlow. Is that right?
Yeah. And he asks point blank, like, do you feel like essentially that white rappers have a privilege where they can move and switch genres and move around and traverse and trespass these territories more easily than black artists? And he goes, I have to think about that. Which is crazy. Like, if you really have this love for black music and you're doing this thing, like, how do you not have a ready-made answer for that? How have you not thought about that? So the fact that he's either ignorant or feigning ignorance about that is just not a good look for someone who professes to love black music so much and be a white practitioner, if we want to be charitable about it, within the black cultural space.
So it's like here you took all the time to make a whole album in this genre.
Mm-hmm.
You named it Monica, which feels
recorded
itself
it at Electric Lady, which is where D'Angelo did Voodoo, and he did that on purpose. Jimi Hendrix studio. Yeah.
Right. So many incredible albums, and then I hear people using the language of this is why we gatekeep blackness. This is why we have to, this is why we have to police blackness. There's a lot of interesting sinners comparisons being thrown out there.
Mm-hmm.
And, my sense of that is that, I mean, I basically, in general, I'm rocking with a lot of these critiques and I'm appreciative of the way folks are, putting this out there. But, for me, it is like there has been something a little missing where I'm trying to say, okay, first of all, this problem seems bigger than Harlow.
Mm-hmm.
And or even like the individuals themselves. Like, is the problem just that like the problem is with these artists as individuals and our anger and should be worried, sort of directed at them?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it that there's something? It just feels to me like there's something systemic at work that we need to grapple with, and that the language that's currently circulating doesn't allow us to do that. And I think this idea of policing blackness or gatekeeping blackness is also interesting because it resonates. Like, I know what people are talking about. Like, they're like, yo, like this whole idea that like Harlow is not invited to the cookout. He seems to welcome, even this cookout language. But it also feels a little kind of fuzzy. You know what I mean? Like, what do we mean? Like, who's actually in control here? So I don't know, man. I just feel like you always have an insightful take on this stuff. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I think you bring up a lot of really good points that state why we need a more structural kind of critique and analysis to go with this. And I think the cookout language in terms of these proverbial cookout passes that black folks are just handing out and passing out willy-nilly, and that's the problem, and this is how we got here, is emblematic of part of the issue, right? These worries and concerns are legit and correct. But I think what they point to when people say we need to restrict the cookout passes, they are talking about a desire to want to gatekeep, to draw some borders around this black cultural space and territory. But I think what often goes not discussed at all is you have to have power to gatekeep. And so we have this language, we have this rhetorical framework, but we don't have the power to actualize it, right? And so this is really what's going on. Like, we don't control the modes of production or distribution. And so this proverbial cookout that we talk about, like, we don't even really own it. We show up and we work there. We labor and we find ways to have joy within it. But it is a phenomena that we don't control and own, which is why other folks can kind of come in and out, whether we extend passes to them or not. Right.
Yo, bro, this is we gotta slow this down, man. This is provocative what you offered us. You know what I'm saying? You are you saying black people don't control the cookout? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I mean, maybe in a particular way, what we do have control of is whether or not we will support a particular artist or a particular project, right?
Which is a kind of power. Like, we have a kind of influence over, I mean, in a way, it's like our tastes, our talent and gifts, our culture has been almost like a raw material.
Right, exactly.
That these industries are extracting from.
Exactly.
But I actually, I'm going to co-sign with you that when it comes to the means of production, we don't. We have to actually deal with, like, who's our, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Whether we invited them or not, we look up and motherfuckers is putting raisins in a potato salad. whether somebody said, oh, Jamal invited old boy, you know what I mean? Or Tanisha invited old girl. We, even without that, we look around and they ripping foil back, grabbing what they want.
Right. Because, and we can, and again, people are responding to the Jack Harlow situation because we could just go through the names of people, right? Whether you want to talk about, Post Malone or Miley Cyrus or Machine Gun Kelly, even though I wasn't tuned in for all the different phases of his journey. You know what I mean? Timberlake maybe is even in this.
Most definitely.
Any more you want to throw in there?
Say Wahlberg. I mean, it's a whole bunch.
So these are folks that the industry, and is able to decide, like, oh yeah, you can do this. And yeah, I just think it speaks to what's going on in a little bit more of a systemic label. And in a way, what you're saying is that the part of the problem, whatever the problem is here, is that, folks don't control the means of production. I mean, if we did, what do you think the intervention would be? I mean, maybe that's one question that needs to be asked.
Yeah, well, I mean, even if we did, right? Like, it also depends on, like, who is this we that we imagine is going to control it, right? And so is it like me and you and a whole bunch of other, folks that have a particular kind of class consciousness that want to leverage our cultural work towards the aims and political aspirations of the working class? Or is the we that has control of it Dr. Dre and Jay-Z, right? Because if Dr. Dre, he gonna bring in more M&Ms.
Right.
We see what he gonna do. If T.I., he gonna bring in more Iggy Azaleas.
Oh, right? Yeah, I forgot about that. Iggy Azalea. Oh, man.
Yeah, so, I mean, we've actually seen a host of black folks who do, because they actually do have power, get to kind of operate as cultural gatekeepers, and they allow these white artists, they grant them a particular type of access and cosign and legitimacy by proxy to blackness that they then get to, run with this kind of stamp of Black approval, right? So even to ask that question, what if we had it, I think begs the question of we. Like, is it a we that we have a class consciousness? Like, because it just don't matter if it's Black people that have control. Are they capitalists, a petite bourgeoisie, or are we talking about a real kind of working class takeover of the cookout?
This episode of Unruly Subjects is brought to you by Haymarket Books, which has loads of great left-wing titles, perfect for listeners like you. And one that I know you're going to feel is The Extended Universe, How Disney Killed the Movies and Took Over the World by Vicky Osterweil. A provocative history of Disney's rise to cultural dominance, The Extended Universe pulls skeletons from the corporate closet to decode the political messages hidden in all your favorite childhood movies. In The Extended Universe, Vicky Osterweil takes us on a quest to discover how Disney's Imagineers have made it impossible to reflect on the wonders of growing up without thinking of Disney's movies, amusement parks, and merchandising. Drawing on extensive interviews with filmmakers, screenwriters, union organizers, and Disney adults alike, Osterweil unearths reactionary political commitments and maleficent legal maneuvers so cartoonishly evil they would make one of Walt's own animated villains blush. As Natasha Leonard puts it, Osterweil is the brilliant, generous, and revolutionary guide we need to rethink cultural production today and kill the mouse inside our heads. Find The Extended Universe at haymarketbooks.org, where all hardcover books are 10% off every day. In some ways, like, what you're actually bringing up is that some of the most prominent examples that have been discussed and that are seen as, the most problematic or controversial were actually brought to us, at least with the help of, relatively empowered Black business people who are music folks who become in the business. And they actually were the ones, like you said, I mean, in the end of the day, how does Eminem come to most of the world? I think Eminem is talented. I mean, it's not about saying he's not talented, but it is that he's definitely been the center of a lot of those questions about who, moving in and out. Is there some kind of accountability? Certainly a person who has made a lot of profit off of a Black cultural, genre. So I think that's cool. But anyway, like I said, the more important thing that I think we need to get to, though, is that in grappling with this, folks have bestowed these different names, and I think that we need to at least rank them. So they're so good. I saw one, Link Condition.
Link Condition is great.
That's like you got to be a little bit in Black R&B worlds to even know. I bet you there might be a few of our listeners who don't even know the R&B group Link Condition to be able to catch it. You know what I mean? It's like you kind of already got to be like at the cookout a little bit to understand that. But Link Condition, Yaqub Kweli is crazy. I mean, that's just hilarious. That's a great one. It's just silly.
I saw Private Enemy.
Private Enemy.
I saw Ice Cube, like I period, C period, E period.
Oh, Ice Cube. Oh, man. That's crazy. What was some of the other ones you said earlier? It was like, we had D'Anglo-Saxon.
D'Anglo-Saxon, Beige Loaf.
Beige Loaf.
Somebody said, inspect your check.
Inspect your check. Yo, people, yeah.
I saw Massa P.
Oh, man. That's crazy. Massa. Oh.
A clan called Quest.
A clan? Yo, that's the problem, man. The pile-on, right? It's like once you,
Musiq Rothschild.
I like that one. That's kind of ill. Musiq Rothschild.
Another favorite is Jan 6 Mafia.
Jan 6 Mafia. Jan 6 Mafia is taking over, bro.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God. All right. Well, so I don't know. I don't know what the process here should be to finally settle this matter about which is the best name. I don't know if we need to make it systematic. Here on Unruly Subjects, we believe in the power of democracy, first of all. Just being systematic about things. So I don't know if we got to create like a poll, put it on the Patreon. We're going to have to figure out something, you know what I mean?
No doubt.
and we can certainly offer our consensus. Maybe we'll narrow it down to about like 6 and see if folks would like to weigh in on what he should be called as we try to resolve these big issues. Well, I really appreciate this. Oh, you know what? There was another really important point that I think you brought up when we talked about this before that I just wanted to mention, which is that I'm not like a Jack Harlow fan, so I'm not that familiar with his music. But you were saying that when you heard his music and saw the ways that he was trying to engage hip hop, it already made you sort of raise some observations.
Yeah. So I remember when I first encountered some of his music, he reminded me a lot of Drake. And I was like, it was like a more white, palpable version of Drake, if that's like even possible. You know what I'm saying? Like an even more distilled version of Drake for white audiences. You know what I mean?
Leave Drake alone, man. Hasn't this man endured enough?
He has. But that said, I do think the timing of this album is really interesting because with Drake losing the battle, not just because Kendrick was the superior MC, but because there was a particular type of cultural critique that Kendrick was able to levy against Drake as a colonizer, as a trespasser in black spaces. And Jack Harlow was someone who I see as operating in that framework and lane and wave as a fully white MC, not even no biracial cover, right? Probably looked at the landscape and was like, I can't go back there, so maybe I need a pivot. So I think, to me, it seems the timing of it is interesting. Like maybe this isn't just a pivot because he wanted to try something new, but because he also recognized that in the post Not Like Us moment, I can't go back to the same old thing. And so now he's trying on a new set of black styles to cosplay and wear and see if that sticks.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I think that's a really insightful analysis to say he was already even trying to sort of be influenced by Drake. That was already risky territory. And because Kendrick has made that whole, he sort of exposed that whole thing as like, and which I got to say, I was surprised that Kendrick was able to pull that off because in my mind, I thought when Drake is so popular, nobody cares about this kind of cultural authenticity that Kendrick is trying to sort of argue, but he definitely did. It was clear. I mean, he leaned into it with multiple projects going after Drake, right? Just like more and more. All the symbolism in the video was like, "You not like this, bro. You not really. You definitely are not really even at the cookout." Right. And so, like, that was already the case, right? So you're like, So Harlow had to pivot. It's so interesting to read these things in that way, man. Well, D Noble, this is Professor D Noble, y'all. Give it up. Don't y'all want to take one of D Noble's classes? It's like, come on. We appreciate you coming on, and thank you so much for this insightful analysis, my brother.
My pleasure.
All right.
Peace.
Rohome Productions. Unruly Subjects is supported by listeners just like you. Join us at patreon.com/unrulysubjects.